click the little red button. I want to welcome everybody to our media availability this afternoon. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Today is a first, it's certainly for me, first time we get to introduce a new head coach via Zoom. So bear with us as we work through the process, but again, we're excited to have you join us. And perhaps certainly even more excited for me is an opportunity to introduce the new leader of our women's basketball program, Coach Toyelle Wilson. She previously served as head coach at Prairie View A&M and had assistant coach stops at Baylor and Michigan. And again, it's a great day to be a Mustang. We're really excited about the future of the women's basketball program. We'll start with a statement from Coach, and then Herman will moderate questions from the media. So again, thanks everybody to join us. And Coach, we'll turn it over to you if you want to make an opening statement.
Thank you so much, Brett. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I would like to thank President Turner, Rick Hart, Susan, all the administration, and the entire athletic department for this incredible opportunity to lead this program. SMU is a special place. I was in Texas for 13 years. They have great people, prestigious academics. There's history and athletic tradition of success. I can't wait to lead our women's basketball program and get us back to that championship level. I couldn't be more excited to meet the team. I just got off a Zoom with them and they were really excited. I'm ready to get to work. I'm very passionate about the game. I bring energy every day. I want to bring joy back to the SMU women's basketball program. We're going to recruit the right way. We're going to recruit the right student athletes that are winners and competitors on the court, committed students in the classroom, and have a tremendous work ethic and something that will make the university, the community, and the alumni proud. So I'm really excited to get started, roll my sleeves up, and get to campus and meet the team and get ready to start this amazing journey.
We'll start our Q&A. So a reminder, if you have a question, to make sure you raise your hand. And the first question we have is from Sam Blum from the Dallas Morning News.
Hi, Toya. Congratulations. It's good to meet you. And if Herm, can you keep me unmuted? I have just a couple questions. I'm curious about just this whole process, and I know obviously you guys were in San Antonio just a few days ago, and thankfully got home safely.
Yes.
How did this whole thing kind of play out over the last couple of days?
When we lost our game in the Sweet 16, my agent reached out, and I really was interested in the job as soon as I saw it was open. And for me, even when I was at Baylor, and that the last time around when it was available, I just didn't think I was ready yet. And just the second time around, I've experienced more, I've learned so much, I've grown so much, and it's like a gold mine. SMU is in a gold mine. Every time I went up there to recruit in Dallas and you run through Highland Park and you see that campus, it's amazing. It's an attractive campus. There's a lot of similarities to Michigan as it is at SMU with the prestigious academics like I talked about, and finding that student athlete that loves the game and loves to play basketball, but also has that same love and takes that commitment into the classroom. And I'm big on culture. I'm big on relationships. I'm big on communication. I'm going to be that for those kids. I want to be a role model. I want to inspire. And I just want to motivate them to love the game and be on that court and play as hard as they can every day, every practice, because I'm going to give off that. And I'm committed to giving 100% every day.
I think you referenced, kind of bringing joy back to the program. And obviously, there's some documented issues that the program may have had over the last couple of years. Do you address this at all with them? Do you address, kind of where the program has been the last couple of years?
No, really, I can't control what's happened in the past. And for me, I want them to learn so much about me and who I am as a person, and let them know. And I told them in the Zoom meeting we just had with them, I said, a player doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I like to know people. Relationships matter. And I'm a connected coach. I'm a player's coach. Like, I love the connection and getting to know who these people really are besides on the basketball court. And so that was my job. That was the attraction of the job. I love challenges. I want to go this way. And that's the only way we can go. So I'm so excited just to impact these kids so much. And more than just on the court, it's bigger than basketball. But again, for them to love the game, to have that joy. I play with fire. I play with passion. I coach with fire. I coach with passion. I coach with joy. And I told them, I'm going to demand so much from you guys that you don't even think you have inside of you. But I'm also going to love on you. I'm going to care for you. I'm going to push you. I'm going to motivate you. And they were so excited. Every kid said they were 2 feet in and they were ready to go.
All right, our next question is from Billy Embody from 24/7.
Hey, Coach, welcome to Dallas and congratulations on getting the job. Dallas, you mentioned running through campus and doing all of that. It's a pretty big hotbed of recruiting. What's your recruiting style? You know, you've obviously landed a lot of quality players over the years, and how do you restock the talent pool here?
For sure. I mean, the first thing is finding what makes SMU different. What's the difference maker and what sets us apart? First of all, it's the academics. I think the conference is strong right now, getting 2 teams in postseason play and 3 and 4 teams in other types of postseason play. I think the academics speak for itself. Life after basketball, once those basketball shoes are hung up, finding the right student athlete that, one, like I just said, loves to compete, loves to win. You got to find winners. You got to find people that are committed to the game, people that are committed in the classroom. I'll surround myself with the best staff possible that has that similar vision and that are determined and committed to get those talented players in here. But, you know, and I'm sure you know this, at any program, the recruiting is a lifeline, the bloodline of a program. And so we got to find the great players, but not only great players, high character kids that know what it takes to win, kids that are committed. And that's what I'm so excited to get, a whole new fresh start. I told the girls it's a fresh start, a fresh voice, a fresh energy. And they were just, I mean, through the Zoom call, I could feel that they were already starting to connect, and they've already been texting me, and I can't wait to get off this call so I can get started talking to each of them.
Next question is from Stephen Hawkins with the Associated Press.
Hey, Toyelle, Stephen Hawkins. Welcome back to Texas.
Thank you.
Hey, I know you've had the head coaching experience at Purview, but what have you learned in these assistant jobs that you've had at 2 very good schools to kind of make you better prepared even now? And what did you get out of those jobs?
For sure. And first is at Baylor. The commitment, what it takes to be great, attention to detail, bringing out and demanding the most out of someone who doesn't even think they have it in them, competing at the highest level, execution, focus, all that at Baylor. And then at Michigan, just kind of like the love of me, the parallel of finding that, you know, that balance through finding kids that actually love the game, but also love the academic piece. And they always say leaders invest at Michigan. And these kids just are so passionate, great culture kids, great relationship kids. They come into the office and they want to know what's going on before, like just regular, well, how are you doing, Coach T? And so much about Michigan is the, you know, the Power 5 and same with Baylor. And, you know, the Big 10 and Big 12 are totally different, but recruiting the Midwest and recruiting kids in the East Coast and kids on the West Coast. So for me, it's just that competitive fire, that commitment to the total package. So I just learned so much in these last 8 years of being an assistant coach. I didn't even realize I was a head coach at Prairie View without knowing so much that I've learned from Coach Mulkey and Coach Barnes-Arico.
Our next question is from Steve Lansdale with Pony Fans.
Coach, welcome to Dallas. Do you arrive with a coaching staff already intact in your mind, or is that a process that begins now, reaching out to potential assistants?
Yes, that's a process that begins now. I have a potential list that I've already established and wrote and had typed up before I even got announced and even got offered the job. So they always say you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So I already had a potential list, and now tomorrow I'm gonna dedicate that to calling these potential people. And they're great coaches, great people, again, of high character that know what it takes, that can recruit the total package, not just the best student, but not just the best athlete, but the best student athlete.
Next question back to Sam Blum.
You know, I'm curious if you can kind of rewind. I think it was when we were 28, 29, taking that first head coaching job. What was that whole thing like? And then how does it feel different today, maybe?
Yeah. I think for me, I was so nervous because I was like, am I ready to be a head coach at 25? You know, I didn't know if I was ready. But the president and the AD said, no, we see how you go walk around this campus. You relate to the lunch lady, you relate to the janitor, you relate to the teachers, you relate to the people, you're a people person. We saw what you do behind the closed doors. We know you're ready for your moment. And when I started coaching, I was like, oh, wow, like I do have that voice. I do have that fire and that passion. I can bring that out of student athletes. So for me, I was more nervous and anxious. Was I ready? Now I'm like chomping at the bit. And for me, it's about a right fit. It's about the right connection. It's about the right resources. It's about the right people. And when I was talking to AD Hart and everybody, Maria and Susan and Mr. Evans, and when I was talking to everyone, what I felt was that it was a family atmosphere. I felt that they really wanted someone that come in here that can have a relationship with these players, that connect with these players, that can pull the best out of these players. And for me, that's how I am. I'm passionate, how I talk, how I practice, how I coach. But I also know, you know, I can give a kid a pat on the back because I can give them two positives to a negative, or I can motivate a kid where they think they don't even can do it. So for me, I'm ready for this moment. I'm ready to shine. I'm ready for get SMU women's basketball with that pride and that joy, and mostly that pride and what alumni are proud to watch and have good product on the court. You know, I joked with AD Hart. I said, I'm going to have to, you know, give out some pizza to get people in the stands. But guess what? In a couple of years, people are going to be coming for the product on the court, not for the free pizza. So I'm so excited about that. And just where we can go, it's like limitless. I'm just so excited.
Next question back to Steve Lansdale.
Coach, there are certain programs and coaches around the country that are readily identifiable by the way they play. Are there characteristics of teams that you coach that will be immediately visible to the fans?
Well, I've learned so much from where I've been for all my stops, Robert Morris, Prairie View, Baylor, Michigan. I've been fortunate enough to learn from so many different coaches that value offense, some coaches that value defense. I'm a defensive coach, so I'm going to play man to man. I love to be aggressive. I love to be in passing lanes. I love to be take charges. I'm about energy. I'm about your defense creates your offense. Offensively, obviously, I got to watch more film on each player and see what they kind of bring to the table. Obviously, but I'll recruit to what the kind of system I want to run and how I want to play. But I definitely want to get to all the strengths that the kids have right now that are on the team and mix and try and get some kids in here that can mix and mingle with what we have and try and get some good product on the court. But these kids are talented now. I know some of the kids from when I was recruiting and watching games and watching other kids. And so I know there's some talent on the team, and I'm just excited to get them on the court and bring that to fruition.
Next question back to Billy Embody.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned passing out pizzas to get people into the stands. How much do you want to be, you know, a figure on campus in a way and engaging with the student body and just all the things that it takes to, you know, these days get people from the couch watching on TV maybe to Moody?
Yeah, Billy, that's so important. That is 100% important to me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be in the community. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to start a brand for the women's basketball team. You know, the thing is, I said the free pizza, but I want to go and talk and go anywhere where I can really, really sell our program. And so that these people know, and our fans, and that they know what we're about, what I'm going to be about, what our team's going to be about. I'm just really excited to get out and get into the community. I'm big on community service. I'm selfless. So I'm big on all that kind of stuff. I believe in all that. And that teaches those kids, you know, being selfless and being out in the community. It's bigger than basketball. So I'm really excited.
The next question is from Sam Blum.
Yeah, you know, obviously, I think I saw it in the SMU statement that, you know, you're the first female Black head coach at the school. And I'm curious if, you know, if that history matters to you, if that means something to you. And if so, you know, how would you kind of just describe that?
Sam, that definitely matters. I mean, for all those young Black women that are playing, that are younger than not even playing in high school, or just young kids growing up, that they can be whatever they want to be. They can do whatever they want to do. I didn't even know that until the SAC they tagged me in that. So, I mean, that's a blessing. That I'm humbled, I'm appreciative, I'm excited. Hopefully I'm not the last, but I'm here to stay for a while. I'm here for the long haul. So I'm just so excited. That's just amazing. I'm glad you brought that up. It's just a blessing. I'm overjoyed and I'm so happy.
And now another question from Steve Lansdale.
Coach, you talked about expanding your reach and visibility both on campus and in the community. And I'm wondering if all of that is focused on looking forward, or if that also includes reaching out to alumni of the program, some of whom may be coaches as well, but bringing them back into the fold.
The alumni are most important. I mean, those are the people that kind of paved the way, that did their turn. They set the foundation. I talked to Coach Rhonda earlier, and I just told her what she did in those 20-something years at SMU was unbelievable, because it's not so hard it's hard to get there, but it's even harder to sustain to be up here. And so when I spoke to her, I just thanked her for what she's done for the history of our program. And I want to get back to where that history is, where people want to talk about SMU women's basketball, that we're buzzing in people's ears, we're buzzing on TVs, we're buzzing in the community, in the newspapers. I'm so excited to get us back, and I'm willing to do anything in the community to start that connection with our alumni. I told AD Hart that we just did, and even here in Michigan, before we played our Sweet 16 game, we had our alumni come on and talk to the kids, because that's important. They're saying, like, I see you've done it. You've endured all that. You've endured the ups and downs. And so I'm just so excited to get the alumni started and get them connected with our current players, to get that, like I said, to get that passion and then that love and that hard work and that commitment back.
And our last question, one more for Steve Lansdale.
Yeah, your counterpart across the hall, Tim Jankovic, talked about how, at least in the men's game, he sees the transfer portal being sort of a Wild West and huge numbers this year. I'm wondering if you see that unfolding in the women's game as well, and if so, how you balance that with freshmen as far as your recruiting and acquisition of talent.
Yeah, I think, the transfer portal is kind of bumping right now and booming. And, just with these kids able to play right away, and just with this year being a mulligan year, having transfers helps you in a few ways. It can help and hurt, but help you with, obviously, with that experience. When you get kids that already have that college experience, it really helps you. They know what to expect. They know what it takes in practice. They know what it takes in games. You want to get the right type of kid, though. You don't want to just settle for anyone. You want to make sure that kid's a good culture kid. That kid's not about themselves. They're about we, not about me. So with me, that's another big thing I have to look at and kind of evaluate the team we have, and see who's all in, and see who's kind of teetering and who's ready to go to work. But I'm just excited to get on campus, meet the team, meet the whole athletic department. I mean, because we did the whole Zoom thing, but I'm ready to be in person, and get started and get this program where it needs to be.
And here's our last one. Sorry, I missed one hand from Sam Blum.
And I wanted to actually go back. I saw your tweets about the flight that you guys took to get back to Michigan. What kind of happened there? And just how does it all kind of play into just a whirlwind couple of days that you've had probably?
Yeah, so they had us leave right after our game. So we finished around 5, and they said it flight's at 8, so be downstairs at 6:30. We get to the airport, everybody buckles up, we get up in the air, and there's a storm, and they get on the speaker and they say, we're going to make an emergency landing in Evansville, Indiana. And so we were like, okay. And they said, we're going from 35,000 feet down to 5,000 feet pretty quickly. So the masks are going to drop. Please place them over your nose and mouth. The big thing I think what happened is we got a lightning strike. And because there was a lot of lightning out the window every second. And I think we were just in the storm, we got caught. But it wasn't like a nosedive. It was more like a descent very quickly in our ears. That was the big thing. Your ears were piercing. And so that was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. And I couldn't hear. So we sat in Evansville from 11 p.m. to 3:30 in the morning. And they asked us, hey, if you guys want to get on a bus, You don't feel comfortable, let's get on a bus. If you want to take the 1 hour flight, you can get a 1 hour flight, and whoever wants to get in a rental car, we can get in a rental car. So we gave that option to all the team. We all end up getting on the plane. And the girls, they handled it really well. The pilot handled it well. They were just scared, they didn't know what to expect. So they were some of them were crying. Some of them were praying with the rosary, 3 of them. But they were holding hands and stuff. And it wasn't really like I never felt threatened for my life. It's just that descent was very quick. We end up getting back 6:30 in the morning on Sunday. And I went to sleep all day. And that's when I got the email back from Susan saying that, we want to do the interview and see if we can get going. So I didn't want to get on a flight, but we did everything on a Zoom, and everything from there is just, I would say, is magic after that.
All right, Coach, thank you. Thanks everyone for being on here. And this video will be posted relatively shortly on our website and on Dropbox if you need it.
Thank you so much. Pony up.